among the ash of Greater Moravia, where monastery stone melted under forbidden thermite, and the chanting of the faithful was replaced by the steel hiss of death commandos, a single survivor stepped from the fire. He bore no relics, he carried no body. He emerged with scripture bound in blood-stained oilskin, the sacred mechanics of a lost theology etched into his memory. His name was Akakios. Velehrad's fall marked the end of the anchorite foundries, or so the church believed. Its libraries slagged, its engineers crucified on iron trestles, its halls mined with corrosive blessings by heretic saboteurs. The death was methodical, surgical, a message. Akakios did not linger. He passed into exile, southward, over broken borderlands, into the deep folds of the Theocracia of Hellas. His destination was known to no one but himself. Mount Athos, the holy promontory where monastic orders clung to granite cliffs and watched the Aegean without blinking. He arrived not as a fugitive, but as a prophet without an altar. There, on a stony shelf above the ruins of Eviron, he founded a new bastion. It was not declared, it was not permitted. But within months, monks began to arrive. Some were deserters from dying chantries. Others were cast-offs from other orders, drawn by vision or shame. They called him war prophet before he ever named the order. They followed him without promise of survival. This was the genesis of the war pilgrimage of Saint Methodius, not as a doctrinal restoration, but as a militant reclamation of sacred craft and lost geometry. Their fortress, chiseled from basalt and barbed wire relics, became both archive and forge. Akakios taught what he remembered. He instructed in silence. The designs of the shrine anchorite returned. Not mimicked, not reimagined. Rebuilt. The church called them heterodox. The processions called them cold and without ecstasy. The faithful whispered of necrotheological blasphemy. Yet the princes of the church did nothing. Trebizond was named. Chaldea was invoked. A prophecy wrapped around it like iron scripture. The city of the hill would reveal the last salvation. No pilgrimage had ever reached it. None had even seen its towers through the smoke. Akakios claimed it remained unsullied. He said the bloodline of faith still beat beneath its ruins. He said the end would not arrive until the vow was kept. So they marched. One war pilgrimage after another, devoured by no man's land, broken by the howitzers of the damned, their bones folded into the soil like failed liturgies. And still they marched. Each obliteration only reinforced the certainty. Every failure was proof of the price still owed. They do not retreat. They do not open their gates to strangers. They do not speak to other pilgrims except in warning or fire. The church watches unmoving. Their zeal is useful. Their loss is acceptable. Akakios has not been seen in decades. Some say he is still entombed within the first grand anchorite, hidden in the vaults below Mount Athos. Others say he walks beyond the front, alone, wearing the sky as a shroud. None dispute the direction. Trebizond remains. The shrine anchorite does not kneel. It stands at the core of the Methodian war doctrine. 12 feet of reverent iron, fused with martyr's wire and stoked by diesel psalms. Where other processions treat their anchorites as relics, the monks of Mount Athos treat them as continuations. Each is a successor of saint. Methodius's original vision, reconfigured through holy innovation and battlefield necessity. Every plate is sanctified. Every piston is blessed. Every weapon grafted with solemn intent. Each shrine is operated by a monk who has forsworn flesh. Once sealed, he never emerges. The interior is lined with hooks, spikes, and sacrificial rings. The pain is constant. The cries are prayer. It is not a punishment. It is communion. The anchorite's default form carries a bone-breaker mace in one arm and the Great Catherine wheel in the other. But the Order of St. Methodius has refined the design. The breaking wheel may be replaced entirely, transforming the liturgical executioner into a long-range death engine. Available armaments include the trench mortar, belching shells laced with Greek fire, the punt gun, reconfigured for trench-to-trench saturation, the heavy flamethrower, sanctified with black oil, and the anti-materiel rifle, used to split heretic armor at the rivet seam. Anchorites may carry the gas sensor, an object of veneration that doubles as a chemical baptism, flooding enemy ranks with incense that scorches the lungs and ignores armor. Autocannons are rare, but present, stitched into shrine torsos for line suppression and trench clearance. These augmentations are not random. Each anchorite is equipped with care, its loadout reflecting its operator's doctrinal focus and battlefield role. Monks may choose 2 sacred upgrades. Some opt for the holy diesel engine, a relic that allows bursts of speed at the cost of internal bleeding. Others choose sacred geometry, embedding numerological targeting algorithms directly into their vision cycle, granting unparalleled precision. There is also the wrathful cherub face, a mask that invokes divine terror. Its gaze alone stuns the downed, paralyzing them in the mud until judgment falls. A single shrine may be designated Grand Anchorite. It is larger, slower, and immovable by conventional means. When it charges, no melee locks can stop it. It disengages by doctrine. None may hold it in place. The monastic engineers maintain an internal armory known only to the fathers of Athos. From this vault, machine guns, automatic rifles, and submachine weapons are issued in limited numbers. Each is hand-fitted. Each is tested against sanctified iron. The gunsmith monks consider every rifle a prayer. They wear gloves only when assembling martyrs' tears, bullets that fracture into cruciform shards. The doctrine does not permit martyrdom devices. Suicide is forbidden, not symbolically, legally, doctrinally, functionally. No pilgrim may be broken on the wheel as a rite. No ecclesiastic prisoner may be sacrificed. They reject communicants as desecration. They refuse martyr-penitent resurrection pathways. The dead remain dead. No reclamation, no reanimation. Nuns are permitted. Stigmatic sisters may serve. But the ecstatic frenzy known among other processions is absent. The chaste order requires all nuns to wear standardized armor. No bloodletting liturgies, no revelatory mutilation, no dance, only silence, steel, and focused suffering. Their anchorites march without anthem. Their upgrades are applied by prayer knife. Each enhancement wounds the shrine, leaving weld scars and sacred inscriptions like brandings on a beast. The fortress at Mount Athos is not open to outsiders. No one enters the cloister armory without irrevocable vows. No weapons are shared. No blueprints are duplicated. The rites of integration are oral, passed only from prophet to novice. Their anchorites do not retreat. They are buried where they fall, and their components are recovered by fire teams under cover of liturgical smoke. Every shot fired is traced, every strike calculated, every silence measured. This is not doctrine. It is liturgy made machine. They do not call themselves pilgrims. They walk, yes, they pray, they bleed in the dirt like all others. But they do not join the chants of the processions. They do not bind themselves to castigators or follow prophets intoxicated by revelation. Their path is not ecstatic, it is carved. One route, one endpoint, Trebizond. The order of St. Methodius stands apart not through pride, but through creed. They follow the Orthodox faith in its pre-schismatic form, preserved through the smoke and ruin by monastic transcription and whispered remembrance. Where the Church has evolved, they have ossified. Where others adopt the communicant, they see only abomination. Where suicide is sanctified through martyrdom devices, they see the face of Cain, not Christ. This divergence is not abstract. It bleeds into the trench. Orders that once welcomed them now bar their gates. Pilgrims from other processions whisper slurs beneath their hoods, calling them bone-cold, joyless, hollow. Some have tried to correct them through liturgical contest or fire. Others have simply vanished near Athonite patrols. The Church calls them heterodox, not excommunicated, not denounced. Simply marked, deviant, but useful. Their anchorites are too effective. Their fortresses too well defended. Their commitment to the front line too unwavering. And so, the princes of the Church look away, granting silence in place of sanction. They do not use ecclesiastic prisoners in suicide waves. They do not strap explosives to the unworthy. They refuse martyr-penitent resurrection protocols. Once a soul departs, it is gone. No return. No corrupted second life in service of temporary glory. This refusal denies them access to one of the most potent force multipliers available in the Trench Crusade, but their theology forbids reanimation. Their trenches remain unmanned if the faithful fall. Their rejection of communicants runs deeper. They see in the grafted flesh and cloned Redeemer blood a mockery of Christ's suffering. To recreate his body as a template for war is, in their eyes, the final descent into heresy. No communicant has ever served in the war pilgrimage of St. Methodius. None ever will. Their female monastics, though permitted to serve, are bound by codes of modesty. The chaste order permits only standardized armor, no ritual exposure, no celebratory scarring. Even the stigmata is veiled during combat. They do not weep aloud in the mud. They do not dance across no man's land. They advance with rifles locked and prayers internalized, their wounds bled in private. Other sects find them repellent, cold, spiritless. They are not. They are preserved. Trebizond burns in the distance, not visibly, not physically, but as vision. The visions of Akakios remain canon among the order. According to his final writings, the last unbroken fragment of unsullied faith still burns there. Chaldea remains the final theme, the last land where Christ's word was not corrupted, where heresy did not seed itself in pulpits and tabernacles. It is unreachable. Every pilgrimage sent to that region has failed. Some do not even return. Others collapse long before the Black Sea. Each failure increases the order's belief in the necessity of the task. No strategic logic remains, no supply lines support it, no external allies lend aid. It is a warpath without reinforcement. And yet it continues, again and again, from the monasteries of Mount Athos, wave after wave of pilgrimage, each cloaked in the same silence, armoured in the same iron, whispering the same vow. The city of the hill shall not fall unvisited. Within the walls of the Athonite fortress, there is no dissent. All brothers carry the same theological schema. All anchorites are constructed to the same specifications. Their rites do not change. Their vision does not shift. The world may rot. The trenches may collapse. The sky may fail. But the gates of Chaldea are closed, and the key remains buried beneath the bones of Methodius.